The title of this video is a bit of an exaggeration, but I want to share a story that really speaks to the durability of Fujifilm cameras. My name is Peter Barnes and I am a wedding photographer based out of Nebraska, but outside of wedding photography, I also take a lot of pictures and videos of musicians and bands. And at the beginning of 2020, I was actually starting a 3-month-long tour with a band called War of Ages. And I traveled with this band all across the United States, taking pictures and videos every single day. And one of my primary jobs on this tour was to create tour vlogs every 4 to 5 days that showcased what the band was doing, as well as creating visually engaging sequences of their performances. And War of Ages is a really loud and aggressive metal band, which means that their concerts have a very loud and aggressive audience. And this is so fun for me to capture. I love getting in close with the audience and showing how much fun they're having. That is something I love to do so much, but this obviously carries some risk with it, and this risk became all too real to me on this tour, and that is where the story begins. So, in the beginning of March, we were at Chain Reaction in Anaheim, California, which is one of my favorite venues to work at, and we all knew going into this show that this was going to be one of the biggest shows with the most audience members. So I knew that I really had to bring it with the video footage today. So the show starts, everything's going awesome, but we're getting to a loud and heavy section of one of the songs, and I'm in the audience and I'm getting up close with all these audience members. And one particular member started to spin around, kind of throw his legs everywhere, and unfortunately I just misjudged my distance a little too closely, and my Fujifilm X-T4 and my 16 1.4 got spin kicked out of my hand and hit the ground, and stuff went everywhere. And it's 4 o'clock. And without really even thinking about what happened, I grabbed all the stuff off the floor and ran to the green room of the venue to take inventory on what had just happened. Now, I wasn't that concerned if the gear was broken because I have insurance, so I could get it replaced, and I also have a second X-T4 with me, so if the camera was broken, I could run out to the van and get a second one, no problem. Now, unfortunately, the 16 1.4 was totally broken. It would not autofocus, and eventually the lens just completely came apart. But the camera, the Fuji X-T4, still worked, and it blows my mind. And I still have it here, and it works, but look at how beat up this thing got. The screen doesn't sit flush anymore, and there's bent metal everywhere. This camera shouldn't work, but it's still turned on, it's still autofocus, and most importantly, it's still recorded pictures and videos flawlessly. So I threw on another lens, shot the rest of that show, and continued on. The next day, I mailed the camera and the lens out to Fuji Repair to see what could be done, and they came back and said, this is beyond economical repair, and they gave me the cost of what it would be to exchange them for new equipment. But I figured I don't really want to pay for that right now, and thankfully I didn't because 2020, but I had them send everything back because I knew the camera still worked. So the lens, unfortunately, I still haven't replaced, but the camera, after 2020, happened, I came home and shot the rest of my wedding season with this busted X-T4, and it was so amazing how well this camera still worked after having gone through that. And I've been using that camera for a better part of a year, even with all of its damage. And that just gives me so much confidence in Fuji products. Even though I've since upgraded that camera to the Fuji X-T4 that's filming me, I have the confidence because I know that a wedding is never gonna be as crazy as a metal concert. So if one of their cameras can handle what is basically the worst case scenario at a concert, I know it's gonna handle anything that a wedding can throw at it. And as far as confidence goes, that is so valuable to someone like me who shoots weddings full time. But anyway, that is the whole story. Please guys, if you have any crazy camera equipment stories, share them in the comments. I would love to hear from you guys. I know it's been such a long time since I've posted a video like this on my channel, but I'm so excited to start doing it again. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next videos. Have a good one.
When you pass through the water, I will be with you. Approach the throne with boldness, I will be with you. When you pass through the water, I will be with you.
Can I get some hot water in my thermos too for tea? And they were like, no, we can't touch anything you own. I was like,
Damn.
what? Could you just like fill a cup with hot water and hand it to me and I'll put it in there myself? They were like, oh yeah, we could do that.
It's like geometry. You know, it makes sense if you can. If it makes sense because it has to do with like words and the study of words.
The study of words.
What? Geometry.
Yeah,
Geometry. It's like a shape. Don't camera this.
Bridge to Valhalla, Odin's waiting for me.
Today is a very special day. Today is my daughter's 8th birthday.
Happy birthday to you.
If anybody makes you mad, you're just gonna be like,
yeah,
come away.
Yes, skooma.
Yes.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Nolan decided he wanted to cross this river. Unbeknownst to him, was at the beginning of a 4-mile loop. So now that we gotta head back to camp, his choice was to either go back and take the treacherous path again, or hike 4 miles to us. Even though he was literally like right over there, we could see him. There's just no way to get there.
I need a long stick. Yeah.
You're back. Dude, I totally thought I had walked around the lake and you guys had already crossed to the other side. How was your ride, Jack?
It was awesome.
A lot of hills to climb.
I walked.
Yes.